Thank you so much for joining us today on Brewer Session. That was such an amazing performance that you guys put on. I'm here with Lobo Marino. Why don't you tell us your name?
I'm Lainey Sullivan.
Hi, Lainey.
Hi, Jameson Price.
Hey, Jameson. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is really great. Thanks for also letting me interview you guys today. So I just wanted to chat with you a little bit and find out a little about yourselves. Can you tell me about where you're from and a little about what you guys have been up to?
Sure. I'm from this area, actually, from Richmond. But we've been a band for the past 7 or 8 years, and we're just grateful to be here and perform.
Yeah. I grew up in Arlington, but I've lived in Richmond on and off for the past 13 years, so I feel like I'm a Richmonder now.
Nice. And you guys said you met at Harrison Street. Is that right?
Yeah, we were both working at Harrison Street at a coffee shop. It all comes together at a coffee shop. Yeah, community center.
That's so great. When did you know that you wanted to pursue music full time?
When it became somewhat of an option, we sold all of our possessions and started traveling, and we started traveling playing music and became a band on the road, and we just found it was a really good way to travel to play music because people felt like they knew you, so they would invite you to stay at their house and feed you, and so it's a pretty sweet way to see the country and the world, and we are okay with having a low overhead and not being rich, and so we continued with it, and we just love being able to do our art for our work. It's a blessing.
That's amazing. I can't believe that. You sold all of your possessions. That's really commitment right there. Can you tell me about the first time that you performed live?
Sure. So it's like a double story. We formed as a band when we were traveling in South America, and so we were performing a lot live at the hostels and farms and communities we were living at when we were living there for about 1.5 years. But I would say our first official show is when we came back to Richmond and we played a show at Bogart's. And we had our third member with us playing banjo and playing some percussion, and the bar was just super chatty. It was like really, really loud. Bands had played before us, and it was still very chatty, and we weren't really sure how this show was going to go. And I think that something magical happened, and it created the thought that we could keep doing this. We thought this might be our one and only show, actually. We were like, well, let's just do this and perform this music that we wrote while we were living in South America. And we performed, and the whole bar just went silent. It was just dead silent. You could hear a pin drop, and we performed everything. And afterwards, the bartender was like, I've never heard the bar that quiet before. And I think it was just like the universe, the world, or whatever energy was behind us was just like facilitating the feeling that we could do this again and that we could just keep playing.
That seems like it was a big moment.
It was a big moment.
Yeah. What do you think it is about Richmond that makes making music here so special?
Oh, it's the best. Because there's so many amazing musicians, but it's not a competitive environment. It's a very supportive environment. We all are a community, and we help each other. We book shows with each other. We support each other, and we co-create. We collaborate, and so there are amazing recording engineers, amazing audiovisual techs. There's incredible musicians that play all kinds of instruments, all kinds of different types of music, and we all thrive on collaborating and co-creating. And I think that it's like that in a lot of realms in the city. A lot of the creative arts are like that.
I would completely agree with you there. It definitely seems like a collaborative community, which is nice. So I have one final question for you, and this might be a hard one, but if you were going to produce your own show, who would you have as your opener, feature, and headliner?
We would be the opener so I could relax and enjoy the rest of the show, because I always get too nervous before we play to really relax, and I can't drink a beer before we play because it just doesn't work. And so we would open. That's definitely for sure. Jameson, do you have a band?
Feature and headliner, do you know?
I just put together Richmond Dream Team. I would just make a whole Richmond festival. So Obliv, Butcher Brown, would do Guar, bring Dave Brocky back and do a Guar antiphons, Swamp Trees. Yeah, that I started name dropping. I have to name drop all of our friends, right? So I would just do this, Dharma bombs.
If you didn't know, we're now planning a Richmond Music Festival, if anybody's wondering.
All of our friends would play it.
That's great. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been really...
Everybody would play it. Don't get upset.
We'll give you a little list at the end here. Thank you so much for being here with us today. This was really fun, and we look forward to hearing your music around town and in Richmond and beyond.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.